I bet it was to catch Miss Andrews and Mr. Corrida in one of their rendezvous. I bet he's not good enough for me. I have to know the absolute truth behind this camera. What do you mean, Pigs? Are you going to see him? Mr. Engarde, I mean? Yes. I'm scared, Mr. Nick. I wonder what we'll find out next. I'm scared myself, but I have to put on a good face for pearls. Matt Engarde, what in the world have you done? You're working really late, you know. It's already past 10 p.m., dude. I think it's time it's time you told me the truth. Relax. Don't you know that ignorance is bliss? But if you really want to know, let's talk. Take that! Someone used his camera to secretly film Mr. Corrida on his room on the night of the murder. Secretly film? What? And then sent the images to the camera took with this transmitter. Wow, but dude, where was this camera you were talking about hidden? The spy camera was hidden in this bear's eye. A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan. Huh. I guess Yuan had a few of those kind of fans too, huh, dude? Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan. Huh, you sure, dude? Who else could it be from? The person who gave this bear to Mr. Corrida was... you. Whoa, that's a lot of things. Spring rolls, I like spring rolls. Pizza, I like pizza. Miss Engarde, don't you know this bear from somewhere? I don't think I've ever met Mr. Bear before, dude. Aw, but he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great friend? What else did the bear tell you? He says the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. Engarde. If I didn't know how you work in court, I'd say I was in some serious trouble. Come on, this is all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg. Looks like you're not ready to give up your secrets yet. Well, do you have any proof you want to show me first? Here's proof that it was you who put the camera inside of the bear. I have here one credit card receipt, Mr. Engarde. It's from when you bought that stuffed bear. Dude, all you can tell from this is that I spent $3,800. I go to that department store all the time, alright? This $3,800. This could be the toothbrush I bought that one time. A $3,800 toothbrush? It's ivory, and it's got elephant hair for bristles. Ew, elephant hair? Is that what rich people use nowadays? Anyway, the store clerk clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him an autograph, didn't you? Dude, you should have said that earlier. So can I ask you one thing? Yes? You're my lawyer, right, dude? So if you are, then why are you looking into the stuff like that? Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you. Sounds like more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's stop talking about this, okay? No, not yet. I haven't asked you why you set up the camera just yet. And what your secret is. Of course, it would be strictly confidential. So, what are you going to do now? I'm going to find out what I want to know because I must. The reason you hid this camera in Mr. Credo's room and filmed it is... Let's see... Oh, wasn't that it? Mr. Engarde? Dude, how about you take that bear home with you and talk to it? I'm sure Mr. Bear wouldn't. This one then. What's this card? Maybe he doesn't know about this card. This is a certain man's calling card. The man's name is Shelly the Killer, and I'm sure you know of him, don't you? Shelly the Killer? That's ridiculous. Why would I know some shady scumbag like him? If you really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? This is it. I'm finally starting to get the truth. I can't afford to make any more mistakes now. Matt Engarde, I know why you know Mr. Mr. the Killer. That's because you're a hero of justice. Since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So how? How could you know something like that? It's because you're his client. That's why. You hired Shelly the Killer to assassinate Mr. Juan Corrida. The real monster behind this murder is you, Matt Engarde. And here I was, trying to be the good boy for you, dude. I thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought anyway. Miss Engarde? You really did hire? Hold on a sec. I'm gonna consult myself, okay? Consult? Myself? Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway. About time for what? I think it's time for you to meet him now, Mr. Lawyer Dude. How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I am Matt Engarde. Well done, Mr. Wright. I bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have. You really... So you are Shelly the Killer's client? You didn't think I would dirty my own hands in this, did you? What do you mean? And that woman, Adrian, was quite brave herself. Trying to stick the crime on me, I didn't think she had it in her. But all I care about is that Juan is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? That... You're lying! What a terrible... It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on, let us grown-ups talk about more adult things. But why? Why did you hide the video camera and... A weakling soon believes the words of others, just like that pathetic Adrian. He knew about Miss Andrews' secret. But I am no weakling. I don't believe in anyone, least of all assassins. What? Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Suddenly, we have a glass of some sort of booze. Don't question it, Pegs. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the sinful deed over their heads. And a superstar like me, how much do you think I'm worth? Care to guess? And that's why? Yes, that's where the video comes in. It's got his face and the crime scene recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. That's right, that video is my insurance. Isn't that what they call it, Mr. Wright? You just had to test the waters, didn't you, Pix? Why? Why would you do something so wrong? Because I'm a grown-up and I can. Good enough an answer for you, little girl. Why? Why would you kill Mr. Corrida? Because he was about to sling so much dung into my beautiful public image. Scandals are a little annoying, aren't they? This is all because of that press conference, isn't it? If Mr. Corrida had been able to give it, then Mr. Engarde's secret would have... Ah, well, that's what they call taking advantage of the situation, you know. I had no interest in doing it really, but bit by bit, it crept up on me. And then, the situation just presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought. And that's how Mr. Corrida ended up dead. Let me tell you something. I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used and thrown away. Put up a sweet innocent face and the people will swallow up anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it, that assassin too. Oh, and how can I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Everyone, all working their butts off for me, Matt Engarde. Oh, this kills my voice. It actually kills my voice doing this. Maybe I should have made him like this. I think I want to change it. Aw, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. That's a little bit easier. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You've grown awfully quiet. How could I have been deceived by you all this time? When we first met, I asked if you had killed John Corrida, and you answered very clearly that you hadn't killed anyone. Hey now, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was the killer guy, right? And all I'm guilty of is taking a catnap in my room. You killed Mr. Corrida. I dare you to say that in court tomorrow. Ah, but too bad. You can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? You could always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How does that sound? Oh, but you can't, can you? That would be the one thing you absolutely cannot do. Mystic Maya, you wouldn't want to test the killer. He's a man of his word, or so I hear. You could end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose. You scoundrel! So if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I think I would give it my all tomorrow. I did say we would have to deal with guilty people, yes. And here's one. Remember, everyone likes a happy win-win resolution. I'll get you for this. That's such a cliched phrase. You once said something just like that, if memory serves. Of course, well, we all know how things turned out for him, didn't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer. Maya? Maya? What am I supposed to do? And now, you finally found it. The starting line of this case. Edgeworth. I don't care for the horrid atmosphere in here. Let's return to the precinct. Well, Wright, what are you going to do? If you plan on changing your strategy... No! We can't do that. That's right. He's holding Maya hostage. What? What should I do? That's not something I can answer for you. Mr. Edgeworth? Right. Only you can decide where to go from here. 1 year ago, at that time, I didn't truly understand what a prosecutor was. And that is why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. I felt that I couldn't stand in a court of law until I knew what a prosecutor really was. And now, Wright, it's your turn. My turn? What is this thing called a lawyer? What can you do as one? You must find the answer, and you must find it on your own. I'm a lawyer, but to fight for someone who is clearly a killer? Matt Engarde, that man really is really... It doesn't matter who. Every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial. Isn't that the basis of our judicial system? Proper defense? But what exactly is that? Is it where a lawyer forcibly and blindly gets an acquittal through shouting and trickery? Ironic that you of all people should say such a thing. Isn't that exactly how you fought for your clients until now? Well, that may be true, but that's because I believe my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. But if I were to get Engarde an acquittal, that isn't a proper defense at all. I became a lawyer because I thought I could save people who were suffering and in pain. But when I look at this mess we're in, I can't even protect the person closest to me. Even if I win the case, I still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do. Right. Would you get a hold of yourself? You got it all wrong. Huh? We aren't some sort of heroes. We're only human, you and I. You want to save someone? That's something easier said than done, wouldn't you say? That's... You are a defense attorney. You can't run away from that. You can only fight. That's all you can do. People like you and Francisca from Karma are always using all you have to pin me down. You fight to the very end, even when you know the truth is not with you. But I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict for a man I know clearly to be guilty. Francisca, she fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record. That is all. And? Isn't that the same as you? Isn't that why you ran away a year ago? Because your precious win record was destroyed? You are so petty. I see. Now I understand why you despise me so. However, you are mistaken. Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realize the error of my ways. I realized that things such as a perfect record were meaningless. What? I don't believe you. Are you saying that is why you left the prosecutor's office? But then, why? Why are you here now? The answer to that is something you will find out on your own. I have faith you will see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. But if you can't, then you will be powerless to change the ending of this story. Mr. Nick, the transceiver. I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Now then, Mr. Attorney, do you wager you can obtain an acquittal tomorrow? My, what is the matter, Mr. Attorney? I don't sense your usual anger this time. Tell me, please, why are you holding Maya hostage for Mr. Engarde's sake? Why are you doing this for that cold-blooded killer? Right. Please don't misunderstand things. He is my client. Don't toy with me! A man who hires an assassin is just as much of a killer himself. I believe you were asking me for a reason as to why I'm doing what I am. Yeah. This is what I like to call my aftercare. What the heck is aftercare? My name carries a certain amount of honor and dignity, Mr. Attorney. I take great care to ensure that no suspicion falls upon the clients for my handiwork. And that is what is called client relation, and it is part of an assassin's duty. An assassin's duty? We were unlucky this time, and my client was arrested as a suspect. As a result, I did what I had to enlist your expert help, Mr. Attorney, and to ensure that you would do everything in your power to the very end. What is your name? I believe I told you once before, however, you did, but my name is the Killer. Shelley the Killer. You Shelley the Killer? Please keep in mind you do not have much space to maneuver with me. As a killer, I always finish what I set out to do. If you fail to keep up your end of the bargain, Maya, it would be my duty as an assassin to see that she receives a nice, long nap. Ah, no! Now then, if you'll excuse me, if someone were to trace this signal back to me, it would be quite troublesome. Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! I don't know what to say. Hedgeworth! That was a meow indeed, Mina. Did you hear that? At the end of the transmission. Huh? Oh, that. It sounded like a cat. A cat? It can't be that cat. Can it? What is it? I think I know where Shelley the Killer is holding Maya hostage. Edgeworth, have all police units head for Engarde Mansion immediately. Alright, you hurry over as well then. Don't lose hope yet, Pearls. The fight has only just begun. Yeah. This is so good. Maya! Please answer us! Mystic Maya! We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape. Assuming he's still in the area? I can't believe it. That butler, all this time, he was the killer. He and Engarde were working together in all this time. I'm sure they had worked out a contingency plan ahead of time. Oh, it's a figurine of a bear. There are a lot of cuts in it for some reason. A bear? Isn't that more a thing for Mr. Corrida? Why would something like this be here? Right, look down. There's a little pet door installed here. Ah, I'm sure that's for Shu. Do you think that this came through that little door? This door, it's locked. Well, I'm pretty used to breaking down doors by now. Let's go, Edgeworth. Ah, there's no one here. From the looks of this room, I would say this is Engarde's private lounge. Look at this, Wright. An antenna for sending and receiving radio signals, and a VCR. Check inside the deck. If there's a tape, it will be an important piece of evidence. If we're lucky, you'll have the moment of the crime that was recorded on it. I'm sorry, but the tape deck is empty. There's no tape to be found. No. But there's no mistake that someone uses to record something. It looks like someone took the tape we're looking for and escaped with it. There's a little door for Shu in this big door. I'm sure Maya uses door to shove this out there. I'm sure it was her. Every time we give this piece of evidence, it's almost the most crucial piece. This time too, I'm sure. A huge television and speakers loom largely here. Hello there, Snorri. Hey. Hey, that's not nice to say. We are very civilized on this little channel. We are not vulgar at all, I'll have you know. I'm sure Maya saw this. She'd say... yeah, that's what she'd say. I can't believe I made a joke about Maya, all things considered. It's a VCR and an antenna. Hey, Mina, that's not very nice. It was beamed here and recorded on tape. If only we had that tape, it would have been really helpful. It's Engarde's computer. Maya, why couldn't you have used this to get help? Mr. Nick, where's the power switch? Oh, I get it. So that's what happened. She couldn't find a power switch. With a spacious sofa, I bet 10 pearls will fit on here. I don't think 10 of me would fit, Mr. Nick. It's a very small table. I bet we could barely squeeze 3 pearls on here. But I wouldn't sit on the table to begin with, Mr. Nick. I can't read all the labels, but this is a very large collection of videotapes. It was that Engarde taped all of his own shows.